Hi everyone. So I haven't been here in a minute. Just been busy with work and all that really fun stuff. As you can probably guess from my pile and from the title of the video, I'm going to be doing my entire tarot slash oracle collection. I'm going to try to. We're going to see how this goes. I have amassed quite the collection, not to toot my own horn. In the last, I'm going to say like 10 years, though if we're being completely honest, I feel like I went tarot crazy really during COVID. Like I had like a few decks, but I definitely like ballooned in size after COVID happened, and I think that's kind of indicative to what happened to like a lot of different people. I think that's pretty common, but I don't know, I'm happy that it kind of worked out that way. I don't know, I find a lot of comfort. Maybe that comfort's not the right word for it. It makes collecting is something that I had never done before, and it's kind of nice that I found my niche, I guess. Sorry, drinking tea. But yeah, I kind of wanted to go through the cards that I have because this is like a half point, so this is also a way to keep myself accountable because at the end of the year my plan is to make another video, and it'll be what I've added to my collection, and then I can like do a comparison to see like how crazy everything is. Okay, so I'm just gonna like put the ones that I have on here in the ground, and then we'll start going through everything. I'm also going to try to say how I got the deck or when I got the deck, if I can like give a timeline, like what era these cards came from, stuff like that. And I'll try to give the names of the deck and all that jazz. There'll probably be some jumping around because I'm just gonna have to cut it because I have to like go to my bookcase where I store all of my decks to like get everything started. So I guess we'll start off with the deck that started it all. I got this deck in high school. As you can tell, this Tug Bugs, she's been through it. Like at this point, I don't want to like stretch it, but that's not even connected anymore. This deck is my first, well, it's not my first ever tarot deck. I got like this weird book as a kid that had like 4 oracle cards, really. So I guess this would be my first real tarot deck. And I don't use it anymore because whenever, I don't know if you can tell, but these cards are, you know, they're real old. The shuffling style I used to use was a lot less intensive on cards. I never used to riffle shuffle. I would spread them out. And I think that's why these cards are in as good of state as they are, because this is basically the only deck I used for years. I had another deck, but I never really used it. It just wasn't something that I was interested in. And then another deck that I'll show I like ruined basically. But yeah, this is my first ever deck, the Book of Shadows Tarot. I love it. I wouldn't recommend it as a starter deck. It's just not, you know, not a vibe, but it's a lovely deck of cards. I'm going to put it back actually. And then we'll actually do another deck that I got around the same time, and that's the Line Strider deck, which I need to replace. Oh goodness. I have like all kinds of cards and like books all over my desk. Yeah, I collect books as well, but has a beautiful guidebook that goes with it. I just ruined a few cards. I was using this in ritual, and I know all the tarot people are gonna hate me for this. I put rum on it as an offering to my ancestors as thanks, and it like made it really sticky and gross, and there was nothing I could do to fix it. I'm sure, yeah, some of them are still stuck together to this day, and that was years ago. So, and I don't, yeah, it's just not good. This is not the cardstock to do that with. Lesson learned. I still need to buy a new one, but I think it was the devil card, ironically, that literally just, it got ripped to shreds when I was trying to like salvage this deck. So need to buy a new one. I've kept this for sentimental purposes because this was the second deck that I ever bought that I actively used. And I don't know if this is true for all decks, but I've noticed that if you get a deck within the first few years of release, you get a really nice guidebook, you get a really nice tuck box to go with it, or at least a better quality tuck box. But if you get it like a lot later, the guidebook gets less, you know, detailed, the tuck box is less put together, that sort of thing. So I've kept it also for that reason. I'm pretty sure the one I get is not, the boxing, or the box and the guidebook aren't going to be as great, is my worry. So yeah, Line Strider Tarot, really great deck. I think I got that one at my, so I got the Book of Shadows Tarot, I want to say my freshman year of high school, freshman or sophomore year. I got the Line Strider near my end of high school. I want to say end of high school, beginning of college, maybe. And this isn't going to be chronological. I just happen to have those on my desk because I never use them anymore. So I just have them basically as display pieces. So like if I'm working from home or something and I'm at my desk, I can look at it and I could be like, oh my gosh, memories. So proof that this is not in chronological order. We have the Rackham Tarot. I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but when I bought it, they sent me two. So I have two of these, so I might give it away. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Regardless, I have two of these decks now, and I got this deck a month or two ago. It's a beautiful deck. For time's sake, I'm probably not gonna go through. Well, actually, let's just open it quickly so you can see. So this is kind of what the deck looks like. The majors don't have their name on it, so you just have to memorize the numerals or the numbers. I don't have that memorized. You would think, right? But because I blame it on the fact that the Book of Shadows Tarot has its own system, so I didn't learn the tarot system. I learned the Book of Shadows system, which is analogous but not the same. Like the Book of Shadows is the Hierophant and stuff like that. So I got the Rackham Tarot a month ago. And then we have the Urban Tarot. I love this deck. I use this deck all the time. It's a Thoth based tarot, whereas the Book of Shadows was its own system and the others were Rider-Waite. This deck is beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love that it opens at the Lovers. I use this deck if I don't want to think, if I want a really quick answer to something, because sometimes I find that like Rider-Waite based decks, there's nuance to it, and I think that's really good if you have time to sit down and like think about what you're doing. But if I want something fast, I want something quick, I'm definitely going to pull this deck out, which is why it's on my desk, because I could just grab it if I need to do something, if I'm like worried about something. I use tarot for stock stuff, so I've used it for that if I just need like to know if I should trade something. Probably a really weird way of going about it, but it's usually how I like make my financial decisions. Oh wow. But yeah, so I really like that deck for this. The art's beautiful too. And then we have the Lubanco Tarot, which I really like. This is a really cute deck. I got it from Kickstarter. I want to say I got it at the beginning of the year-ish, around then. This is an art deck. This art is beautiful. I have no qualms. This art is just everything in a bag of chips. I don't know. I love this art so much. I think this and the Children of Litha are like the two decks that I feel like meet my artistic sensibility the most, I would say. So really love this deck. It's pretty amazing. I'm not sure if she's selling it because it's a Kickstarter one. That's one of the things I dislike about Kickstarter, because like you'll see really great decks, but maybe you just don't have the money at the time to get it, or you're trying to like be financially responsible, stuff like that. And you run out of time to, you know, get to it, and then it's game over, you know. It's like FOMO on steroids. And speaking of decks from Kickstarter, this is the Botanica Tarot. I backed this last year, I want to say November, and I got it at the beginning of this year. This deck is beautiful, I would say. Cardstock is decent-ish. It's bad for riffle shuffling. Like, I'm pretty sure it's better now, but I had only, like, shuffled this deck maybe 5 or 6 times, and it, like, got a bent in it. It looks like it stains pretty easily as well, and there's, like, I don't know what I would call it, like creases in the cards. So I'm trying not to use this deck really because I think it's beautiful. I love it, and I paid a lot of money for it, and I don't think it lasts. I wouldn't get this deck if you want to use it heavily with it, or if you do, you would have to alter. Like, I wouldn't riffle shuffle. You would just have to use shuffling techniques that protect your decks, sort of situation. But I love this deck. It's really beautiful. I've read with it and it reads fine. It's just worrisome. Oh, right. Other thing. I guess it's not so much a problem now, but I've had it get stuck and it's like impossible to get this thing out. So that, I guess that's a thing. All right, next deck that we have is, I believe this is my Terra deck. Watch me be wrong. Nope, this is my Terra deck. So this is my Terra Oracle deck. I love this deck. This is my go-to if I want clarification for things. They had like a little snafu when I got it. If you've seen the video of me walking through this deck, they sent me like a guidebook. So I think it's really good for clarification with me, just because the guidebook is so encompassing of like literally anything you could ever want or need. So that's really great. All right. And I just got that off their website. I want to say I got that last year, maybe at the end of the year. And then this is Uncover Your Past Life Oracle. This is from Kickstarter. I know for a fact you can get this from her website. Because I have a friend who reads, and I showed her, I did a past life reading for her with this. She's like, oh my gosh, I love that deck. It reads so well. It's like so helpful. And I was like, yeah. She went online to try to buy it, and I guess like the book and the cards are sold separately and it can get pricey. So I guess that's something to be aware of, but I don't usually use decks like this, but depending on where it lands, you get like different things. So it could be volcano, forest fire, city fire, explosion, and on the back it has like location, trauma, stuff like that. So it's really, I like it for that. It's also, if you don't want to do you know, a past life reading, it's a great way to read for like if someone wants to know who their future husband is going to be, or if you want to know about a person, or what you, maybe even what people think of you. It's a really great deck for that. And then I got that maybe, yeah, I want to say last year. And I did that on Kickstarter. And then this is the Maruk Oracle. I don't remember what this is called. I just know that Maruk, let's make sure that you can see. They have their own Oracle store, and this is one of their decks. This is kind of an invasive one. It's for love readings, really. It's like, we can build an empire together, be a power couple that everyone envies. So it's just like the person's intentions and stuff like that. I started out doing love readings for other people, and that kind of became my specialization. So a lot of my decks are love related. Not so much for me really, but for everyone else, I think it's really helpful, especially for clients. I know clients love that deck because it like gives them like all the juicy details that they're looking for. Well, so far everyone seemed to love it. And then we have the Essential Oil Oracle cards. So this deck is pretty cute. I I used to be obsessed with this deck. I would like every single day I'd pull a card, and because I, you know, sometimes my mental health isn't the best, so this is like a way for me to kind of like ground myself without being too crazy. So I'm like, well, what can I work on today? Trigger statement, I can't go on. True statement, my heart is light. Please hold space for the feelings you have, honor them and be with them. Your burden will be lightened. And I don't know, for a long time that was like really, really great for me. I riffled this deck a lot. I've shuffled this deck a lot, and it's fine. It's held up. It's great. I love this deck to pieces. Just don't use it as often anymore. I've just gotten into like a better mental space, but I'm sure if I ever need to, I'll like go back to it. I'm just feeling like out of sorts mentally or something like that. So just so we can get this to go faster, because I'm realizing I have a lot of decks and we're already at 15 minutes. I'm gonna start clustering them. So this is my Liminal 11 collection. So this is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. This is the White Newman Tarot. This is the Modern Witch Tarot. I just love the art for these decks. It's beautiful to me. I don't know, just really great. One of the large differences that you can tell between, I guess, the iterations of this, I don't want to call it publishing house, I don't know if that's the right word, is that this goes like this. This obviously doesn't, because it's like that. I don't know how well that will last. I got these the same time I got the Rackham cards, so probably a month, 2 months ago. And then I got this deck, oh gosh, it's been a minute, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. I love reading with this deck. I like this cardstock a lot better than these cardstocks. I find that they made them softer. I'm a proponent for hard cardstock, even if it makes shuffling harder for me or near impossible, because I want it to last. That's my goal. I'm a collector. I want my stuff to last. I want to be able to, you know, go back to these cards 20 years later and still be able to riffle shuffle. You know, some decks I can see that working and happening. Other decks I can't, even if I were to rotate, which I do. So, because all the decks that I collect, I do use. How often is dependent on how attracted I am to them, my emotions at that time and stuff like that. But I use every single deck that I have. Yeah, so I believe this is my Inkwitch Tarot. Yeah, okay. So I got the Inkwitch Tarot 3 months ago, I want to say. I haven't read with this one yet. I'm a little scared to read with this. The cardstock is pretty thin, so I need to read with it. But I just haven't gotten to it yet. I've been really busy. I had surgery, so it's just I haven't had time, realistically. So I've just been using the other 2 decks that I just went over. The Liminal Tarot, or the Newman Tarot especially, is the one that I've been really using recently. But I love this deck. It's fine. It came with a pretty cheap tuck box, so that's why I have it in that little baggie, because this is, no, it just wouldn't work well. So, Children of Litha. I love this deck. I got this last year during the summer, probably near the start of COVID. This deck is beautiful. I use it all the time. It's rose petal finish, which I know is pretty galvanizing, or polarizing, sorry, for a lot of people. I love it because I want my stuff to last, like I said, but this deck is beautiful. It's solid. After, you know, shuffling it like during the summer, literally daily, it's pretty functional. This is like the first deck that I ever did a tarot study with. I just love this deck. It's probably my soul deck, I think is the word for it. I love it. I'm thinking about buying a second one just so I'm noticing this one is kind of deteriorating, which is a little sad for me, but just so I can like rotate so that it doesn't get hurt any more than it has been. So this is going to be my Cosmos Tarot slash Oracle, I think. I know one of these times I'm going to get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I have the majority of my baggies memorized to a point anyway. Yeah, this is the Cosmos Tarot and Oracle deck. So this is a tarot deck, and then it also has, I want to show you like different celestial objects. So it's like nebula, for example. I was going to say it has the planets, but it has more than just the planets. And then the majors have their associated astrology sign with them. And then other minors just have randomly assigned, from my understanding, the randomly assigned constellations. So like Mensa is the high priestess, stuff like that. I love this deck. I use it quite often. The gilding has held up like really well for how often I use this. Love this deck. Beautiful. Beautiful deck. I use it if I want built-in clarification that I can't get. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. If I want like built-in clarification I can't get elsewhere. Okay. So this is my Botanical Inspirations Oracle. I got this last year during the summer. I had like a huge spending thing because I had just like graduated college, and I was like, oh, I got like my career job, whatever. And I can't do anything because I was following social distancing because I was like high risk and stuff. So I really like this deck. I don't use it as often as I should probably. I don't know. I generally use this for clients, not myself. It's kind of frilly. When I read for myself, I like darker energies. Usually if I'm bringing in a lighter deck, it's for clients, just because it can be intimidating to go to a reader and then have like death and gloom. Like I'll show you some of my darker decks. I definitely am like aware that my taste isn't for everyone. Oh, I know what deck this is. This is my Astrological Oracle, but I just can't remember the name of it. I never use the name. I have the guidebook right here so we can figure it out. But it's the Oracle of Radiant Sun. So this is an astrological deck. So this is Mars and Pisces, Mars and Aries. I use this deck pretty often. If I want specifics, if someone wants to know like personality of someone, I'll use it for that. If I'm trying to find out who someone is, when I use my readings are generally more like I want future knowledge about things. I hate being surprised. I feel like that's why I got into fortune telling. So I just like to have the scoop on everything if I can get the scoop on anything. So yeah, I use it for that mostly. Just want to know what's going on. The guidebook is really helpful as well, and I feel like very centered in like real world things. Not to say that like other oracle decks aren't. I just feel that many other oracle decks are more focused on your spiritual and emotional well-being, whereas I feel like that one is focusing more on like the material world, much more grounded. I believe this is my Muriel second edition. Yes, it is. Thank goodness. Yeah, this is my Muriel second edition. I don't really read with this all that often. I was like so obsessed with it at one point because it has gender variancy. There's nudity, just so you guys know. But I don't really read with it all that often. Like the gilding is beautiful, but it looks like it's almost gone. So maybe I'll start reading with it again. The glitter just goes everywhere. It's just, oh my gosh, that glitter. So whenever I shuffled, I'm getting glitter all over myself, all over the place. It's just not something that I want to deal with on a regular basis. So that's one of my main reasons I was dissuaded from using it. Also, this is like learn at your own pace deck. Like, the cards have very specific meanings that may not coincide with like traditional RWS interpretations. So this is the Adventurers Tarot, the Empress deck. I love this deck. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. I'm into it. I vibe with it. Goodness. I don't use it really. I had a plan at one point to assign meanings to it, every single card, and then I was going to go that way because it comes with a guidebook. So like this is, I'm not going to say it's only intention for that because it was marketed as well as like a tarot deck or an oracle deck, but this is for like role-playing games and stuff like that. So what they give you for a guidebook, this, as you can tell, it's this thin. They're this many cards, and I mean some of the cards are definitely repeating and variations on themselves, but even then it's just not enough. And I feel that, you know, you can do a lot with this deck. You just need to like assign your own meanings, and I kind of love that because it is based on role-playing, right? So it's like you're allowed to make this deck what you want it to be. I just haven't had the time, volition, or energy to, you know, like dive in like that. I need to, I want to, because I think that would be such a cool thing, you know, a customized deck of my own, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. The cardstock's beautiful. The art is gorgeous. Everything about that deck is chef's kiss except for the guidebook. And even that can be argued to be amazing, right? So this is the second edition Tarot of the Holy Spectrum, I believe is what, yes, Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. I use this almost exclusively for my financials. And by that, I mean, like, if I'm doing day trading or something like that, I use this deck. I am pretty, like, centered in my spiritual system, so it doesn't bother me to do that. It's worked out so far, so it's, I don't know. Actually, sound off in the comments if that's something you do, because whenever I tell my friends, they're like, you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not broke yet, so it seems to be working out, but I don't know. To me, it's, like, a good thing. I kind of like it. I like this deck. The art's pretty nice. It's a little more digitized than I would have liked, but other than that, it's really good. I'm going to put the guidebook with the next deck I'm bringing out just because it's in French, and theoretically I should be able to read French, but obviously I can't. I think it's the Eye of something. I'm probably wrong, but L'Oeil de l'Âme Tarot. Beautiful deck. I literally just got this a week or two ago. This is from Kickstarter. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, and here's my certificate of authenticity. I'm not sure if she's going to be selling these. I just don't know. But the deck is gorgeous. It's I think it would be a pretty good learning deck if it has like 2 extra court cards. I think that's like the only thing that changes it from other decks. It's pretty gorgeous. But yeah, I guess this was a 500 deck run because I have 32 out of 500. So I couldn't tell you if she's doing another one. It says that this is a first edition, so that leads me to believe there will be other editions. So maybe you can look out if this is like a deck that like speaks to you. But yeah, I love this deck. I'm happy I kickstarted it. It's great. All right, so I think that's all of the decks that I have on my desk or like in my desk. So let's grab some other ones. You'll probably see a jolt just because I'm not going to make you sit here and look at nothingness. Gosh. Trying to grab this stuff is hard, man. Oy. Oh, dear. Well, that's great. Sorry, I'm just gonna pile these. I'm planning on cutting this footage. So I don't even know what I'm talking. Maybe I'll keep it, we'll see. It could be wholesome content, right? Okay. So we'll start off with these. I don't know where I'm going to start putting these. I might just have to put them back. Another one of the positives of this video is I can reorganize my tarot. I've been wanting to do that. Just reorganize my decks. But we'll start off with this Oracle deck. I don't know how this got damaged. I've had this for probably like 7 months. This is Courtney Putnam's Body Cards. This is like I think this is the only collage deck I own. And it's huge. My hands are pretty big and it's like big for me. But it has the different parts of your body in it. It's pretty diverse, I would say. I don't think I've ever seen anyone with this deck, actually. So this is, you know, one to see. I think you can get it on Amazon. I feel like you can. But I got this in case, I don't even know why I got it. I feel like I just wanted a deck that had body parts in it because I didn't have a deck that had body parts in it. And I specifically got it because I thought it would be helpful in like doing readings for people. But have I used it? Twice, I would say. I don't know if there's, yeah, so it like has all kinds of stuff in here. It has like associated chakras, what it does in your body, where it's located, color association, essential oils, activity. Like Courtney, she went hard. She went hard in this deck. I just don't use it as much as I should. Maybe I can like get into it. I feel like if you were one to do medical readings, this would be for you. I'm not saying people should do that. I'm saying if that is something that you're up to, that could be a good option for you. Legendary Ladies Tarot deck, I think I got 2 years ago. No, it would have been last year. Yeah, it would have been last year. I love this deck. I like watching other tarot readers, A, because I just, you know, I like to watch tarot readings. It's like relaxing to me. And B, because it helps me inform how I do my own readings. I like to like look at how people interpret decks and maybe I like that interpretation and I'll like incorporate it, stuff like that, just inspiration. Love this deck. It's really great. I use it every so often. I was at my best friend's house and I let her nieces like look through it. And I was like, look at the pretty princesses and stuff like that. So it's like great for kids. They loved it. Okay, and then we have the Numinous Astro deck. So this is an oracle deck that's based on astrology, as you can probably guess. I've used this somewhat often. I think it's pretty. So I guess this is a collage deck too. So I guess I own a few collage decks. It's not my favorite type of deck. I'm more of like a art person, especially if it's like, I don't know, I just like art. So not to say that makes it sound like collages aren't art. I don't have the correct verbiage to express what I'm trying to say. Like digital art and stuff like that, or paintings, things like that, are stuff that I'm really interested in. Collages that take various mediums and put them together is very aesthetically pleasing for a lot of different people. It's just not my vibe, I guess. Okay. And then we have the Lantern Oracle. I got this at the beginning of the year, I want to say. I've used it a few times. This is more of kind of what I was talking about before, like one of those self-helpy oracle decks that are, you know, they can be nice, but they're not, I wouldn't call this so centered in like material sort of things. This is more focused on how you're reacting to things rather than what's making you react. Stuff like that. I love the cardstock. Art is gorgeous. Everything about this is pretty great. So I love it. Was made by a doctor, which is cool. I'm not sure what their PhD is in, but it's really fun that they did that. And then we have the Amenti Oracle. This is what I would call an esoteric oracle or an occult oracle. It doesn't exactly look like it would be one, but it talks about in here lots of different esoteric and like occult philosophy concepts. And it kind of like adds in, you know, more new age concepts as well. It's a nice combination. So like a really good example, Hasya yoga or laughter yoga and stuff like that. Stuff that Egyptians were doing, I guess, for 40,000 years. So an Egyptian proverb, you will free yourself when you learn to be neutral and follow instructions of your heart without letting things perturb you. This is the way of ma'at, or balance. Or I think it's technically justice, but regardless. So this is a really nice deck. I use that if I'm like trying to do like esoteric things, I guess. So it's not as often. I kind of, weirdly enough, right, I kind of try to stray away from like the woo-woo-y end of it, just because it's harder for me for whatever reason. I have a lot of earth in my chart. My chart is literally almost completely Capricorn. So I prefer things that when I read that are material. I very rarely do spiritual readings, and if I do, it's for my own religious practice. If I'm like trying to talk to the goddess that I work with, or the god that I work with, or my ancestors or something like that, I would use, you know, something like that. But even then, that deck isn't really for that. It's more for your own spiritual development. So this is the Therapet stack. This is another one of those decks that you use if you're just not feeling the best, or if your client isn't feeling the best. Like if you gave a really tough reading, I would pull this out and I would, you know, like ask the deck, well, what do you think we need to do? I have huge hands and this is huge for me, so I can't imagine what small-handed people are like, but yeah, no. This is incredibly hard to shuffle. It's huge. Here's a pencil. It's bigger than the pencil. So I think that's a good way of doing that here. That's like pretty standard size, right? It's another good one. The whole tuck box is bigger, or like this. Yeah. So it's pretty big, but it's really sweet. It's big in size and big in heart. Okay. Let's get on to our next stack, shall we? I don't even know how many I have, actually. I don't have a number. When I was coming back from college, and this was when I had less decks, mind you, we ended up putting it in like my decks in a laundry bin, and put it in my mom's car because I had my own, and we were driving. She was helping me move, and apparently the car thought that the decks were heavy enough to be a person, and it was like yelling at her to like give it a seatbelt. So that's, yeah, it's not, it's that's one of the moments that you're like, wow. It really do be that way. So this is my Astara Tarot. I would say this is a little damaged, but it's not my fault. I think a lot of people had issues with like the cards just being stuck together. So as much as I love this deck, I've read for friends with it, it's just, there's a few cards in here that are like ripped. I think this is one of them. Because I was like, I was with a acquaintance, I guess. We're not so much friends anymore. Not because she's a bad person or we'd like fell out. It was just time. But I was at her house and we were going through this, and I was going to give her a reading with it, and we literally couldn't pull it apart. So yeah, this is a lovely deck. Outside of that, it's a I forgot what they're called when it's like multiple artists. It's 4 different artists, and I think they all chose like a suit, and I guess rotated on the majors. Regardless, I love it. I feel like it's cohesive. It's beautiful. We vibe. It's woman made, so I love it. This is the Starman Tarot. I'm not going to pull this out. Well, here I am pulling it out. I'm not gonna like go through this one really. I got this for the guidebook because I feel like the guidebook is amazing. I've read with it a few times. I got it for the guidebook because I like the meanings in here. I've literally used the guidebook for other decks just because I find that it has stuff in it. This is why I didn't want to take it out, because this is like impossible to put back in. But it's a really cute deck, really nice. Happy I got it. It's heavy. And then we have the manga tarot. I used to read with this constantly. It's a really cute deck. Tuck box is really nice quality. The book it comes with is huge, great quality. I would say the thing of least quality is maybe the cardstock. I'm not going to call it flimsy, but it's definitely not sturdy. That's what I would say there. But otherwise, really cute deck. I read with it every so often. I haven't touched it in a minute. I've just been focusing on my new editions, but I really loved it and I would read with it all the time. Then we have the Spellcaster's Tarot. I generally use this for other people because I feel like this is kind of an aesthetic that they expect when they go, you know, it's like mystical and stuff. The guidebook is huge. It's even thicker than the other one. But yeah, this is like a more mystical deck. I think a lot of people don't like it, actually. A lot of people in the community. It's a more mystical deck and it doesn't have much nudity, and it's also very light, you know. It's a very, I guess this isn't, right? The devil here isn't very, but even then it's like almost cartoony. So yeah, I use this for clients a lot. They tend to like it. I don't think I've ever read with it for myself. That could be a lie. I don't remember offhand. The Mermaid Tarot's pretty much same vibe, mystical. I usually use this for myself, not other people. I don't particularly have a strong connection with mermaids. I just like the artwork of it. I think it's pretty. I might use this for a client. Some of the decks that are more fantastically based with non-humans, because mermaids aren't humans, I'm gonna say it. I don't know, that feels dehumanizing, right? With like non-traditional bodied people in a fantasy aspect, I just tend not to use those as often with clients because I feel like it takes away from the reading itself. Okay. And here's another pile. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be such a long video because we're not even, wow, we haven't even finished my first shelf yet. So we have 2 other shelves to get to, so this is going to be interesting. I'm a little worried, actually. So this is the I Ching of Love Oracle deck. It's a really cute Oracle deck. It's really fun, fresh, exciting. It's Los Scarabeo. They're prolific when it comes to mass market decks. Them and Llewellyn, I think, are like the 2 major players. This is a, really nice deck. I use it for love readings for other people. My friend recommended it to me and I used it. It's nice. I like it. Sometimes I worry if it's appropriative. I don't think it is. Sound off in the comments if you feel it is. But yeah, that's where we're at. Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. I love this deck. This is one I almost ruined. I tend to put things on the ground when I'm trying to do readings online just because I don't have space. And I think this is the card right here that got sat on. I guess so it got under my chair and I didn't notice. And full whole reading it just sat on, but I almost like it. Like the universe helped me because look at that. That's so pretty. It looks like it's supposed to happen like that. Regardless, this is a really beautiful deck. I love the art. I love the message. It's diverse in body, ethnicity. everything in between. It's just lovely, and it's a great one to, you know, vibe with for yourself. I've done readings for myself. I've done reading for clients. I've used it in my videos. It's a really great one to work with. Whispers of the Ocean Oracle cards. These are really fun, fresh, and exciting. I've used these for myself. I don't think I've ever used these for other people. I might have used these in a reading or two that I posted, but I actually don't know. I don't think so. I love this deck. It's great. I would say it's probably really beginner friendly. This is a really great starter oracle deck. I wouldn't say it's too focused on the material, unfortunately, but outside of that, it's nice. It's just more about how things are going for you emotionally and stuff like that, which can be good. And I think some people look for that. I'm just, again, like, I think like 5 planets in Capricorn. I wish I was exaggerating. So yes, something. I really like, grounded stuff. I really love this deck. I use this for my friends. I use this for myself. This is like, I think, my only vampire deck, if this counts as a vampire deck. I love this artist. I'm probably going to get a few other of their oracle decks. I don't know. I feel like it's really helpful. I feel like this is something that I think actually goes well with the real world and clarifications for readings. So I vibe with it. And all of the decks that I've showed, I got within the last year so far. So I haven't mentioned it because they were literally all in like the same time span, really. In the last year, so from the summer to now. That's what I mean by that. This is my Wild Unknown Tarot. She old. She granny. Wow, this is in better shape than I thought it would be because I stepped on this when I was living in my apartment in college. This is a really nice deck. I've read for so many people using this deck. It's decent. I don't think that if you buy it now, you get it in, you know, as good of a tuck box as with as nice of a guidebook, but I like it. I know a lot of people find it overhyped. For me, it's neither here nor there. I got it in college, my sophomore year. So I've had it for a while. As you can tell, like, there are creases on this from me opening it like that to read and stuff. So it served me well. I have neutral feelings. To me, it's not a deck that I've like super uber bonded with. It was just a deck I used a lot because my Book of Shadows tarot was dying. So I needed a transfer, and my Line Strider had been destroyed by the time I got it. So this was like my filler deck. That kind of sounds bad, but it really was. It was just a utilitarian need because my other deck was literally on its deathbed. So that happens. All right. All right. This video might end abruptly, so we might do a part 2. I think we might do a part 2 regardless, just because this is getting pretty long. So I think my phone almost dying is probably a sign, but we'll do this one and then we'll end it there. How about that? This isn't a very long pile. So this is my Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck. I love this deck to death. I've used it pretty often for myself, for other people. It has 2 extra, if I remember, the Well and the Artist. I think that's right. Sound off in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm 92% sure. Those are the 2 extra cards. It's a really nice deck. It's a little thick, not thicker, it's a little wider than other decks, but otherwise it's cute. I think a lot of people are upset with the Artist though. I think they low-key got canceled. But other than that, I think it's good. This is the Arcane Bullshit deck, right? Ages 9 and up. This is not for 9-year-olds. Sorry, I'm reading the inside to make sure that I'm saying, yeah, this is the Arcane Bullshit deck. I love this deck. This is an amazing deck. This is an Oracle deck. It has so many cards in it. I don't know why more people aren't as obsessed with this deck. Probably because it's like nonsensical. Like the Greased Priest, Pie Knight, the bird book snake thing. It comes with a guidebook that I think is pretty helpful. Your own interpretations. This is kind of a do with it as you will deck. I love it. I've used this for friends. I've used this for myself. And I use it for serious readings. This is just, I don't know, it's my personality, I guess. But I love it. I find it to be really helpful. It's one of those Oracle decks that I can go to if I know that I need more information about something. This is my most problematic deck. And I don't know if the person knew it was problematic because I literally called it bad karma, cardma, because it is bad cardma for this person who made it. It has, especially right now, that makes it so much worse. They had a racist card against it was you know, racist with people of East Asian descent. So I just threw that out. I got it through Kickstarter, so I didn't know at the time that it would have that in there. They left out the cards that were problematic, and there are 2 in here that are bad. I kept one that, I mean, like, they're all like spicy, right? Like, just kill yourself. But those don't bother me because those are universal issues. You know what I mean? I love how they have racism in here. Love it. Those are universal issues. Whereas they have a trans card in here as well. I'm trans, so it doesn't, I mean, it bothers me because I think the person who made this is cis, but I'm not as I feel more comfortable keeping it because that's part of my identity. And I paid for this. Yeah, this isn't the stereotype of a trans woman. Just all trans women are valid whether or not, however they look, but using that stereotype in that way is just not, it's not cute to me. They knew what they were doing. But I feel comfortable keeping it. I'm trans, so it doesn't, we chill in the hood with that, I guess. But problematic deck, wouldn't have gotten it if I had known that some of the cards were, you know, assholey for a reason. But there you have it. This is the last one that we'll go through today, and then we'll go through some other ones when I release a part 2. But this is my Golden Girls tarot. I think this is more of a collector's item. I don't trust this to be shuffled multiple times in its life. I think this could maybe handle a good 100 shuffles before it starts deteriorating. So 100 different readings before it dies or starts to die, which is fine. You know, some decks are more just like things that you just keep for the concept. It's just a collector's item, more so than something that you would use often. I don't trust this deck. Certain decks I have, I just don't trust to read with, and that's one of them. So that's my part 1 to all of the tarot decks that I have, tarot and oracle. I'll release a part 2 and we'll go over some of the other ones that I have, but I think this is a good start for me to like reorganize my stuff anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.